I'm your #1 fan.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
My mom and dad.
I see dead people.
Hello.
Oh, hi. I hated that intro. You
Oh.
didn't really ease us into it.
Oh, hello. Happy
Hello.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that I like that better. That's good. Welcome back to the Killer Cuties podcast.
That's us.
That is us.
We've got so much to talk about.
I know. It's a big day for us. I'll start. This is our last episode of May.
Hooray.
So I'm going to tell everybody about the new horror movies that are coming out in June.
June.
June. Some have said it's the best month of the year.
Best month of the year.
You heard it here first. So new movies in June. First one is June 7th. The Watchers is coming out. I think there's been quite a bit of promotion and hype around that. The film follows a young woman played by Dakota Fanning who becomes trapped with 3 strangers in a shelter deep within a forest in Ireland, where the group must fight off mysterious creatures every night in order to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds crazy and fun. Next, on June 14th, we actually have 2 movies that are getting limited releases. One is Tiger Stripes, which is a 2023 Malay language body horror film. So that's getting a limited release in the US. And then the other is Latency, also a limited release, but it's about a professional gamer who suffers from agoraphobia. So both kind of sound interesting. After that, we have June 21st, The Exorcism. It's another Russell Crowe exorcism movie. Not related to the Pope's Exorcist.
Interesting.
But, so it stars Russell Crowe as Anthony Miller. He's a troubled actor who begins to unravel while shooting a supernatural horror film. So who knows? If you like the Pope's Exorcist, maybe you like this too. I don't even know if it's fair to compare them, but it's Russell Crowe in an exorcism.
I mean,
Who's to say?
You have to compare them.
I will do that right now and forever. And then on June 28th, we have 2 movies as well. One is called The Devil's Bath, which takes place in 1750 Austria and centers around a deeply religious woman named Agnes, who starts to have evil thoughts until the possibility of committing a shocking act of violence seems like the only way out of her inner prison.
Been there.
Haven't we all? Am I right, ladies? And then finally, also on June 28th, we are getting A Quiet Place Day 1. So that is the franchise spinoff. It's going to deviate from the Abbott family story. John Krasinski has said that it's going to follow Lupita Nyong'o's character in New York and kind of take us back to where that all began. Should be fun.
I'm excited, as long as the cat lives.
The cat.
There's a cat. She has a cat.
Oh, in the trailer?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I don't remember a cat at all.
No. It's not boding well for that cat.
It just sounds bad if you ask me. But
Yeah. Well, exciting.
Yeah. Lots of new ones coming out.
Yeah. We've got a lot of good horror news, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. James Wan, who brought us Saw, Insidious, The Conjuring, is set to head up the development of a new horror series that reimagines the monsters. And it's more horror forward. It's called 1313, which comes from the family's address, 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any release details yet. I'm not even sure it's like actively greenlit. I think it's still like in talks. But we will keep you posted as we get more details.
All right. I like it. On my end, Warner Brothers released a brand new trailer for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. So that comes out in September of this year. And it's pretty clear from the trailer that they've stuck to the original's roots and kind of kept the effects very practical. So that's exciting. We love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also gives you kind of a first look at new and returning characters. So definitely check it out.
Cute. Speaking of practical.
Oh my God, what a segue.
We've got 2 new images from Alien Romulus, which, as a reminder, comes out August 16th.
Mm-hmm.
One of the images is of Kaylee Spaney, and the image is like really similar. It's got the same vibes as Sigourney Weaver in the original Alien. So I love that.
Yeah.
And then the second image is a few more cast members in a set, like in a beautifully designed, foggy, spaceshipy looking set. And we've talked a lot about how Fede Alvarez is super committed to maintaining practical effects for that movie. So it's fun to see that coming to life in these new images.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
You won't believe this, but speaking of effects, actually though, a few episodes, we talked about Tom Savini. He's a legendary special effects artist who's worked on films like Dawn of the Dead, Maniac, Friday the 13th, Creepshow, and many, many more. But we recently learned that he's going to be making an appearance in Terrifier 3. So we don't really have any details on the role that he's going to be playing, but still exciting to know that he's going to be a part of that.
So cute.
Yeah.
Love it. One more for me has nothing to do with effects.
I don't even want to hear it.
I mean, it kind of does. I mean, sorta. Several episodes ago, we shared the speculation map for Halloween Horror Nights. We now have 5 new confirmed Halloween Horror Nights mazes for 2024.
I'm going to scream.
Yeah. We've got Slaughterhouse Cinema 2, which is basically a walkthrough B-movie marathon.
Love that.
So fun. Goblin's Feast, where you become the main course in a tavern full of orcs, witches, and goblins. That doesn't sound scary at all.
Goblin Feast sounds like a Saturday night at my house, so.
Honestly, any night at either of our houses. Then we also have Major Sweets Candy Factory, the Museum of Deadly Exhibits, and Monstros. It's not Monstrous. I think it's Monsters in Espanol. Monstros.
Oh, okay.
It's the Monsters of Latin America.
Okay. I feel like that was like one of the predictions, like a few of those were kind of predictions that people had.
Yeah, and there's still a bunch more that have yet to be announced, so keep your eyes open.
Yeah, it looks like those are more of like the general ones. I feel like usually they keep the more, the bigger licenses kind of hidden until it's a little bit closer, so.
Yeah, and the 2 big ones that they think are going to be licensed are Quiet Place and Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Quiet Place is fun.
I think I have a personal vendetta against Ghostbusters, not because of the movies or anything. It's specifically tied to Halloween Horror Nights, because I remember, I think it was the first time I went. We got like the general tickets, and you just stand in lines for hours trying to get in. And it was the last one that we went to was the Ghostbusters one. And we were in line, it said 20 minutes. We were in line for like an hour and a half. And we finally got to it, and it sucked. It was the worst one of the night. And we were like, we're going home.
Yeah, no way. Oh my God, can you imagine? I mean, yes, you can, because you were there, but...
I can not only imagine, I can remember. So. Yeah. It was rough, but no hate to Ghostbusters. It wasn't their fault, I guess.
Well, that's what you missed on horror news.
Yeah. Shit. Should we talk about Tremors?
Yeah.
Okay.
The forgotten Dune horror comedy prequel?
Nobody forgot about it, first of all. Let's start there. Okay, so just a rundown if it's been a while since you've seen it. I'm just going to assume you've seen it. Repairmen Val and Earl are tired of their dull lives in Perfection, Nevada, but just as the crew try to skip town, they happen upon a series of mysterious deaths and a concerned seismologist studying unnatural readings below the ground. With the help of an eccentric couple, the group fights for survival against giant worm-like monsters hungry for human flesh. That's from Google.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, you gotta really make it sound like scary. Because this movie is
not.
But it was directed by Ron Underwood. Screenplay was by Brent Maddock and S.S. Wilson, and stars Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, and Finn Carter. That's a 7.2 on IMDb and an 88% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. And while it wasn't a breakout star at the box office, it did become like an absolute smash when it went to home video. It spawned multiple sequels as well as a TV show, so it became a success, even if it wasn't initially a super success.
Yeah.
It didn't do it wasn't like a box office flop, but it didn't do as well as they were hoping it would.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Kevin Bacon initially regretted having been in it, which shame on you, Kevin.
He came to his senses. Okay.
It only took him 30 years. Ugh. But he did eventually say that it was the most fun he ever had making a movie, which, I mean, it looked like it.
Oh, yeah. That had to be a blast to do. But yeah, I remember, I think it was like when he was filming it, he like broke down one day and was talking to his pregnant wife at the time. He was like, I can't believe I'm doing a movie about underground worms. Like, what's happening?
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, little did he know. It would
Yeah.
turn out to be his best film.
Best one I've seen.
Thank you.
Second one I've seen.
Kevin Bacon. Oh, which Kevin Bacon movies have you seen?
Friday the 13th.
That's it?
Yeah. I think. I've never seen Flashdance or whatever he's in. Is it Footloose?
Yeah, he's absolutely not in Flashdance.
Yeah, Footloose.
He is in Footloose. What? I actually haven't seen that either.
Yeah, it's a dancing movie.
Yeah, which I don't mind. I don't know, just something about like a town being like, you can't dance. Like I saw Dirty Dancing. Like I'm good.
Is he in that too?
No, it's just like also about people being like, you can't dance, you know. So.
Wow.
He was in Crazy Stupid Love.
Haven't seen that either.
Really?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's like.
You actually should. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
It's nice.
He's just one of those people that like you know him, but you don't know what from.
You know that everybody's connected to him.
What do you mean?
6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. That's like a whole joke.
What everybody is connected to him by 6 degrees or less?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like 6 degrees of separation, but like people made it about Kevin Bacon.
Am I 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon?
Probably.
Okay, I love that for me.
Yeah, me too.
Cute. Speaking of his wife.
Great.
She was incredibly pregnant, 3rd trimester. And this was filmed in the late 80s when there wasn't cell phones. So they installed a phone on the set so that Kevin could be in contact with her in case the baby came. And she went into labor his last day on set, right after filming the scene where Walter is killed by the Graboid.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
I just feel like, I mean, I guess it's kind of like a different career, right? Because if you have a regular job, right, and you go into labor, typically you can just be like, hey, I have to leave work. Like, you know, my partner's in labor.
Yeah.
But when you're filming on location, like, you can't really just be like, I gotta leave early, boss. You know?
Yeah. And also, like, where was she calling from? Was it nearby? Did he need to, like, fly there? Who knows?
I'm assuming that they lived in Los Angeles and they didn't film in Los Angeles. So, like, they were out in some desert town. I feel like they probably would have taken a while to get there.
Yeah.
But also, labor's not as quick as they show it to you in the movies, you know?
Was for me.
Really?
Yeah. Popped her right out.
Good for you.
I mean, I was also, like, a week and a half late. Like, she was
Oh, okay.
41 and a half weeks and I wanted to die. So I was like, get the fuck out of me. And then she was.
Great. Yeah. I don't know. My mom was in labor for like a 2 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Surprised they let it go on that long.
Well, my sister was a C-section.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't. They were like, you gotta go.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, and then weirdly, I was not, which
Backwards.
I think is more... It's not as weird today as it was back then.
Yeah.
Like, back then. Back when I was a baby.
I mean, that was 30 years ago. That's a long time.
Shut your fucking mouth. Yeah, back in the 90s, like, that was not... If you had a C-section, you were having a C-section for all of your other kids. So.
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, now that we've gone through pregnancy expectations.
Back to the movie, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my favorite fact, one of my favorite facts. Well, first of all, not gonna lie, there were a lot of facts about this movie that had to do with guns. And that's just like so not my vibe.
I feel like every movie that features guns has so many facts about guns or cars, so many facts about like, oh, this is the make and model of the car.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, that's really interesting to some people. I literally could not care less. So
Yeah. If you could see my screen right now, I literally wrote, which I simply could not care less about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about my favorite fact.
Okay.
This movie was originally R-rated because it had the fuck word in it 20 times.
The fuck word. Yes.
The fuck word. They took all but 2 of the fucks out. There's 2 left. And then they dubbed over it with sucker, humper, and shit.
Yeah, the 2 mother humpers really tickle me.
I love them.
That's really funny.
Well, especially because his mouth is saying fucker, but his sound is humper.
Mm-hmm.
It's iconic. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
It is. Yeah. I think they should do that in more movies. Just dub over.
Yeah.
And make it obvious. Like, I want to look and know that you did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That shit's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I like that the filmmakers and the producers, I think, kind of had like a different idea of what they wanted for a few things. And one of those was, at first, when they were writing it and had this idea for it, they were like, oh, there's just going to be mysterious deaths around the town. And you don't know that it's monsters under the ground until later. And then the producers were like, we're marketing it as a monster movie. And they were like, okay, so I guess we have to just show the monsters earlier. So that wasn't supposed to happen. The first, like, monster death, I think, was going to be the construction workers. And you weren't really going to know about it. And then they added in the scenes earlier on.
Cute.
Yeah, I think that would have been kind of fun to be like, oh my god, what's happening? But there's also a giant graboid on the posters.
Yeah, and it's not even like an anatomically correct graboid.
Exactly.
Which is like, you took the time to scientifically name it and you couldn't even anatomically correct it on this, whatever. Which, weird fact is, in some places it says that the scientific name is Cadaris americana, and in some it says Cadaris mexicana.
Yeah, I think what happens is that once you get into the sequels of it, there's different ones from different places.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's like American graboids, there's African graboids, there's like, they're all over.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like, and they have different phases of their life cycle too. So like, one phase is like the ass blasters, and then
love that.
Yeah, and then like some of them can fly, and there's just like
Oh.
Yeah. So they really expand upon the graboid universe, I guess.
Wow. Really is better than Dune. They just have the one graboid.
Yeah, it's so much better than Dune.
Yeah.
See, I don't even need to watch Dune. You want me to watch Dune so bad, but I don't have to because I've seen Tremors.
You've seen this.
I've seen Tremors.
Yeah, it's just
so it's
Dune
like,
light.
I understand sandworms more than most, I think.
Yeah, I mean now I understand both.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that going for me. I have that little advantage.
Right, you have dual sandworm knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dual sandwormism.
I hated that.
They also went through a bunch of like redesigns of the worms themselves.
Yeah,
apparently
it looked like a penis.
Yeah, well, that, or also they were supposed to be like kind of dull, like a dry outer shell, but it made them look like they were covered in nail polish. So then they added slime. And then to your point, the outer shell was supposed to pull back and reveal like an inner worm. And they did create it, and it made people giggle.
It would make me giggle.
Yeah. So they ended up making a larger worm with small worm tongues, as if that was somehow better than the phallic worm. I don't know.
Well, they also did that for budgeting. Because they couldn't show the big worm. They didn't have enough money to show the big worm every time it attacked. So the smaller worms were kind of their budget-friendly version of showing the monster, but also staying within budget.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that the final graboid death is a miniature.
I know.
Yeah.
They use like miniatures and puppets a lot for this.
Yeah. Lots of puppetry. The guys that did the design, the monster design, and the puppetry and the mechanics of it. Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff. It's their first movie. They handled the practical effects and all the monstering and puppetry. They went on to win Academy Awards for their work on Alien 3, and a couple other movies. I forget what else. Oh, when Death Becomes Her. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that wasn't this Ron Howard's first film too? I think it was his directorial debut.
Ron Howard or Ron Underwood?
Did I say Ron Howard?
Yeah. I want to say, I don't think Ron Howard's in this one, but he could be.
Ron Howard has nothing to do with this.
Yes.
Yes, this is Ron Underwood's directorial debut.
Yes, confirmed.
His first feature film.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it was Reba McEntire's first acting gig as well. So a lot of people, like, this was kind of their first experience.
Yeah, and Ron didn't even want Reba.
I know.
He was like, you're a gimmick. I'm not hiring you. And then she auditioned, and he's like, I am so sorry. You are welcome here. Please be Heather.
As he should. He should apologize to Reba. She was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I don't know what possessed me to do this. I think it was because I had such a good time watching this movie. I watched all the credits. Don't know why. But they credited a sage wrangler, like the plant.
Oh.
A dirt wrangler, like the earth. And we just complained about, okay, just a little context. We just watched this movie, Crawl. It's like alligator movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't ever check to see if they had like a consultant, like a reptile or crocodilian consultant. But I'd be willing to bet that they did not. Yeah. This movie had a seismology consultant.
Oh, I love that.
And they call her the earthquake woman or something. Earthquake, the queen of earthquake. I don't know. She's legit.
Queen of the Quakes.
Yeah. She was
I don't know if that's
something. I don't remember. Dr. Kate is what they call her. But they also call her like Queen of the... I'm going to look it up. Dr. Kate Earthquakes. They call her Earthquake Lady.
I don't like that near as much as the ones we were coming up.
Yeah, but I mean...
They got a professional seismologist just to call her Earthquake Lady?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody calls her that, not the cast and crew.
Oh, okay. I was like, you better put some respect on the Quake Queen's name.
Yeah, they called her Dr. Kate in the credits.
Okay,
but
perfect.
The world, she was a professor, calls her Earthquake Lady.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so you know she's legit. I mean, she's
the Earthquake Lady.
The Earthquake Lady.
Of course.
Yeah, but I loved that. A dirt wrangler. I want to be a dirt wrangler. I want to wrangle dirt for a movie with Kevin Bacon in it.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Dream job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I like at the beginning of the scene. I watched this with some friends. This time. I've seen this movie probably 100 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, and our friend like kept laughing at the beginning of the movie when Kevin Bacon's like trying to like hit the staple with the hammer and he just keeps missing. And that was improv. Kevin Bacon just decided to do that, and Fred Ward's reaction was just completely genuine because he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Am I the only one that finds it very hard to hit nails with hammers? I miss every fucking time.
How far back are you pulling? Because you can just you don't gotta go that far.
Well, no. If I'm going for it, I'm missing. If I can tap it in, that's easy.
But why are you going for it?
Because I mean, I don't want to sit there for 10 hours while I tap it in.
Yeah, but you also don't want to miss and hit your wall.
Hit it 3 times, just like, you know?
I guess like when I'm hitting it, I'm like, this is the farthest back I'm going, you know? It's just like half a foot. I'm not, you know, tossing it from across the room trying to hit it.
Well, I think the other thing is like what I'm not talking about nailing things into the wall, because when I nail things into the wall, I use the stud finder.
Great. Because
you just tap it in, you know?
Just tap it in.
But when you're doing, I don't know, I can't.
When you do your construction projects.
Yeah, I mean, I do have construction projects, thank you. You're trying to be facetious, but I have construction projects.
I don't think I've Well, that's not true. In my adult life, I don't think I've ever used a hammer to do anything but hang stuff up on my walls, so.
And you don't even
Or,
need
like,
it.
build a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't need to, like, swing that hard for that. So.
Okay, well, just me then.
Between us, I'm sure there are people out there who struggle like
I
you
hope
do.
so. I can't be the
Yeah.
only one,
You rarely are.
thankfully.
Yeah.
I've got some works.
That's what makes you so much fun.
Thanks.
You talked about redesigns of the Graboids. And another one of the early concepts that they dropped was that they were going to have the ability to like mimic sounds so that they could lure you in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they dropped it. They were like, these guys have way too many things that they can do. We got to cut something out.
They're too powerful.
Yeah, they're too strong. They had to nerf them.
The sounds that they did end up going with are like reused everywhere. There's one scene, I think it was the like basement scene with Heather and like the shootout or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it kind of sounded like Big Cat. I couldn't confirm that anywhere, but I'm pretty sure there's some like Big Cat thrown in there. But anyway, the sounds that they use for the Graboids has been reused in Predator 2, Troopers, Ants, Mosquito, Eight-Legged Freaks, Kong Skull Island, and like a zillion D others.
As they should.
Yeah, I mean, don't fix it if it's not broken.
Use Tremors in more media.
Yeah. If anybody can confirm that it's Big Cats, that would make me feel very good because it sounds like a big cat.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon, let us know.
Please.
I want to know who your least favorite character was, and why was it Melvin?
Which one's Melvin?
The fucking annoying-ass teenager.
Oh, I thought he was kind of funny.
Love the scene where, I think Val and Earl are, like, walking outside, and they're like, I'm gonna kick his ass, I'm gonna help!
Yeah.
The whole time we were watching, like, our whole chat was just like, fucking Melvin. It was like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, there's not a single character in this movie that I did not like.
Yeah.
Which is a surprise because Ariana What's-Her-Face is in it, and I hate her in Jurassic Park, sorry.
She's the one that plays the little girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In Jurassic Park as well.
Yeah, a few years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, she was very enjoyable in this movie. She did a great job.
She did. Bouncing on her little pogo stick.
Yeah, I can't even do that. A full-grown adult.
I could when I was a kid, but I have not tried since I was probably 7. So
One time I went to take in cans to the recycling, which is a thing that you do in California. And there was a huge like pallet of Disney princess branded pogo sticks. I stole one.
Allegedly.
Well, I mean, it was, I mean, it's like the dump. It's trash. I mean, it's not like, I'm not like
do you
incriminating
still
myself.
have it?
No, that was a very long time ago, and I didn't even take it out of the box. I just wanted to have it. I took a picture. I'll see if I can find the picture. There's a lot of them. So many.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The pogo sticks weren't selling. I don't think that's a toy that like made it.
You don't think so? They were pretty big in the 90s.
Yeah, in its day.
Yeah.
But it's not a toy that like people still play with.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think I've ever heard of someone in this day and age being like, oh, sorry, I gotta take my daughter to the park, she wants to pogo.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think nowadays if you're pogoing, it's like extreme pogoing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like on TikTok where they like do like flips and shit, you know?
Wow. Okay, so there's like professional pogoers.
Yeah. Like
Got
Red
it.
Bull. Like they're sponsored by Red Bull pogo stickers.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well there's a market for it, I guess.
Not a big
It just
one.
feels like, you know, like a Rubik's Cube. Like that stood the test of time. Like people still play with those today, you know?
Yeah.
It's not, a pogo stick's more like a skip it. Kids today don't skip it. Not like I did in my day.
Yeah. I used to skip it all over the place.
Oh yeah. And then when it would like hit your Achilles tendon, you just crumple.
Yeah. Go down like a sack of potatoes.
Kids today don't know the pain of getting hit with a skip it.
Yeah. Oof. Ouch.
I used to fucking love that thing.
Yeah. I used to try to get it up as high on my leg as I could.
Oh. That's just asking for trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, the number of times I tripped over it and fell on my face.
What a great toy.
Yeah. The horse.
Yeah, I knew you'd want to talk about the horse.
Yeah. So first of all, during that scene, you can like see all of the wires and stuff that are holding the horse down. Which, let me back up for a second. This is the first time I watched a movie using X-Ray by Amazon, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. It shows you the movie, and then it shows you the actors that are playing the characters on screen, and then like the name of the characters, and then every once in a while it'll pop up a fun fact about what's happening on the screen. So like during the horse scene, it told me, oh, if you look right now, you can see the like wires holding the horse down or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
That is neat. And it does make sense because I'm pretty sure IMDb is owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
So then it's like, I fucking love the fact section on IMDb. So.
Yeah, that's where I get most of my facts from. And I think there was very little, most of it was overlap. Most of the facts on X-Ray were like direct from IMDb.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. But anyway, to simulate the monster attacking the horse, they made fake tentacles, wrapped them around the horse, and then some of the tentacles had like an inner mechanism, like puppetry or like some sort of like mechanical something or another that is operated manually. The horse was like totally fine with it. He just kind of laid down, which he was trained to do. They put collapsible stirrups on him so that he was not injured at all. And then he was actually sedated briefly. The Humane Society was there. They had a veterinarian on staff. They just kind of like gave him a little to take the edge off, you know?
Yeah.
And then some pieces they used a fake horse flank too, like a prop horse. Like when he's being bitten into. That was obviously not actually happening to the horse.
Phew.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting that they drugged him.
Can you imagine? They're just like, oh yeah, we just cut the horse in half. Our bad.
Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon learned from his mistakes.
I don't think we can blame him for that. But,
no. But I bet he had a say in it. But he was like,
that was his first movie.
Yeah, he was probably traumatized. I'm making shit up. I'm hoping that he was traumatized.
Oh, you mean in Tremors, he was like, hey, let's not kill the horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that the plan was to kill the horse, and then Kevin Bacon saved that horse's life.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's a fact that we just made up right now. Yeah. Kevin Bacon saved that horse's life in Tremors.
Stand-up guy. He hired the veterinarian and the humane associate.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
We're gonna get sued.
Who cares? What do you mean the worst thing that happened to me today?
Oh, Jesus. Getting sued by Kevin Bacon would absolutely be the worst thing that happened to me today.
Oh, I think it'd be kind of fun.
My day's been pretty neutral so far, so. Okay. Do you want to hear me admit that I'm a hypocrite a little bit?
I would enjoy nothing more.
I actually thought you were going to call me out. I had my whole defense planned and everything. Oh. No, because as I was watching this and kind of thinking about it, I'm like, man, they really never explained the character or the Graboids. Like, they never. And I know producers wanted them to include a scene where they like find alien eggs and stuff, and they filmed it and everything. And then they were like, we don't like that. Like, let's keep it a mystery. We don't want it to like anybody to predict it. We want it to be open-ended, leave room for sequels and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, love that. So happy they did that. Like, I kind of love that it's just like, oh my God, where did these things come from? And then I thought back to my criticisms of Arcadian, and I was like, why don't they explain anything?
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know why. I don't know why it worked for me in this.
You just hate the movies I love.
I did not hate Arcadian.
You gave it a 3, which we've discussed is a bad score.
How many times would you teach you this lesson, Holly?
I think
it's not a bad score.
It's not a bad score. They gave us enough that they predate the fossil record. Which
I think that was the difference. Is like in this one, it gave me something, right? Yeah. Like enough to kind of make your own educated guess about what it is.
Yeah.
And they discuss possibilities too, which I know they did in Arcadian, but all of those like seemed provably incorrect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was where I kind of held the differences. Is like, well, we know it wasn't a guy who got bit by an insect and turned into a monster, because like that's not what the monsters are, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, I did for a moment think, oh my god. I've never denied being a hypocrite, though.
Yeah. No, you haven't.
It looked like you were going to say something.
Yeah, I'm going to. Just give me a second.
Great.
Thinking. Oh, the pole vaulting scene
Yeah.
was like specifically written because there were so many fucking boulders in the desert.
Yeah.
But once they got there, they realized like the boulders are really far apart. We're not going to actually be able to pole vault. So they made fake hollow rocks to pole vault across.
Yep.
And one day it was really windy, as it gets in the high desert, and they just started blowing away.
They had an earth wrangler. They needed a boulder wrangler.
Seriously, yeah.
Oh, that's really funny, though. But yeah, I know, like, their plan was always to include something about that, because that's how S.S. Wilson said that he got the idea for it in the first place, was he was working for the U.S. Navy in the California desert, and he was, like, resting on a rock one day, and he just kept imagining what it would be like if something underground kept him from getting off the rock. And that's kind of where the idea spawned from. So I think it was important to him to, like, keep that in the movie of them on this rock and they can't get out.
Yeah. Cute.
Yeah. I also like the fun fact that Chang's Market was originally written to be owned by a Vietnamese person, and then the name was going to be kind of correlating to that. But then they cast Victor Wong, and he was like, well, I'm Chinese, so so they were like, got it, and just renamed it. Never mind.
Love that.
I know. I do like that there, there's definitely been times where they cast someone who's not from the country that they're supposed to be portrayed as, and I don't like that. So I like that they were very happy to change it based on the actor that they hired.
Yeah. They also redid the score, which in hindsight, I can totally hear it. Robert Folk was brought in at like the very last minute to rescore the entire film, but he's not even credited, I don't think. I read the whole credits. I didn't see him.
Yeah.
Ernest Troost is who originally wrote the music, and he is credited.
Okay.
But Robert Folk wrote about 30 minutes of it, and he writes the more like punchy, like trombone heavy or like brass heavy, violins, big instruments, like movie soundtrack. That's like when all the monsters are attacking and when all the action's happening. And then Ernest Troost wrote all of the like more Western sounding harmonicas, guitars. Like listening back to it, I went back and listened to a few of the scenes that it called out specifically. You can totally tell it's two different composers.
Yeah.
I mean, I can totally tell.
No, I can tell.
I'm sure you could.
Thank you.
I thought that was interesting that it's interesting that they had two different composers and only one was credited.
Yeah, that is. I'm petty. I'd want to be credited.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it without being credited. You want me to rewrite it? Take the other guy out.
Get that guy out of here. Or keep him in, but credit me too.
Well, yeah. At the very least.
Yeah.
They also rewrote the ending. You want to talk about that? Did
Sure.
you not know that they rewrote the ending?
No, I did. Yeah, because they weren't going to have Val and Rhonda, like, kiss. But then they showed it to a test audience, and they were all like, kiss! Kiss! Like, screaming for them, too. So I think they went back and reshot that to include the kiss.
Yeah.
Because it was going to be that they were on their way out and then realized that she still had the lighter, so they had to go back. But
which is kind of cute. Like, like just like almost cherry on top of the comedy of errors. Like, oh, I guess we're going back. Guess we're not leaving after all.
Yeah, I almost think that I would have preferred that ending, but you gotta give the people what they want.
I guess so.
It's not me.
Yeah, the other people.
The people who aren't me. I think one of my favorite fun facts too is that there's really only 2 interior sets, which is the store and then the basement. And everything else is shot in the exterior. And almost everything's shot during the daytime, too. And the cinematographer, Alexander, we're on a first-name basis because I can't pronounce his last name. But he was, like, really great at capturing outdoor landscapes, but he was really concerned about doing a horror film in daylight because that's just, like, not what you do, right? And everything's visible, so it's like the monsters kind of have to look really good, otherwise people can tell. But I think that's interesting because there's not a lot of horror movies that take place mainly during the day.
Yeah, I don't think the monsters looked that good, but
I think they looked perfect.
they were kind of squid-like. Did you get that vibe? They're like squid beak.
Yeah, I guess like the mouth.
Yeah, like an upside down squid beak. That's exactly what it looked like to me.
I got more worm overall, but I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Thank you.
I said I was gonna go as a graboid for Halloween and then just like throw pumpkin innards at people.
Oh.
Because that's kind of what their guts looked like.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the news. Local woman arrested for chucking pumpkins at people.
Oh my god. Yeah, you might go viral for it. People think you're dressed like the Shy Halud.
We've already talked about this. I do not believe in any press is good press.
Which is a shame.
I don't want to go viral for chucking pumpkins at people.
Well, then what's the point?
Of doing it?
Yeah.
Well, there isn't a point. That's why it was a joke, and I'm not actually going to do it.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, any other fun facts, or should we rate it?
Let's rate it.
Okay. How scary do you think it was?
I gave it a 4. I'm kidding. Can you imagine? I gave it a 1.
Yeah.
It's not scary.
I physically could not imagine it being a 4.
Yeah, no. It's not scary.
It's barely even a horror movie.
It is in my heart.
Is this our first PG-13? No, right?
No, we've had others. Megan, I think that might have been our first one.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I think Blair Witch might be PG-13.
Really? It's kind of spooky.
Yeah, but there's not like, oh, it is R. Shit. Probably because of the swearing.
Yeah, swearing, and there is some like gore, a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, we've definitely done it before, because I feel like we've talked about it. Where I've said, like, man, I wish it was an R.
Yeah. I don't wish this one was an R, except, honestly, I don't, because what would have made it R is more swear words, and I love that they replaced the swear words. I thought it was funny. It was like a good place.
I almost think the, like, mother humper and stuff, like, added to it, so...
Yeah.
I think that this is fine as is.
Yeah.
How sexy did you think it was?
I give it a 2.5.
Yeah.
It wasn't sexy, but it wasn't not sexy.
Great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 2.5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like Val and Earl, you know, and their little jeans, and Val's heart-shaped belt buckle, and then Wanda's in her underwear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute.
It's got some good vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. How fucked up did you think it was?
A 1.
Yeah.
It really wasn't.
No, not at all.
Yeah. You gave it a 1 too?
Yeah. I was going to give it a 1.5 if they abused the horse, but they didn't even do that.
They didn't even abuse the horse. Thanks, Kevin. All right, overall. What did you give 1990s Tremors?
I give it a 4.5. Yeah. This movie fucking slaps. Did you get a 4.5?
I give it a 4.5.
Hell yeah, we finally agree on something.
Let's go, Tremors!
Oh, yeah. No, this movie fucking rips. It's so good.
So good.
It's so funny. It's adorable. Kevin Bacon's perfect. Reba's perfect. I mean, it's just such a good time. I think the only, like, complaint I have is, well, I forgot what it was. I forgot what the complaint is, so. But there was one.
Okay, yeah.
I'll think of it eventually. You also gave it a 4.5. Why?
Because everything you said, it's so good. It's such a good fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's funny, And this was a movie I watched when I was a kid, and I used to hate horror movies. Anything even remotely scary or sad, I did not like. I remember my parents were watching Mars Attacks, and they were like, watch this movie. Well, actually, no, my mom knew. She was like, you're not coming in here. And my dad was like, she's fine. I was not fine. I couldn't sleep for days. Yeah, that's how big of a wimp I used to be.
Yikes.
This movie? No, I watched this movie with my dad. We fucking had a blast. We would rewatch it. So yeah, it definitely has that like nostalgic, like reminds me of my childhood. And I think it's held up. It's so much fun.
Yeah. I agree. Couldn't agree more.
I'm so glad.
It's a blasty blast.
It really is.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch all the other ones and the show. I won't be watching the show, but I will watch the other.
I heard too that there was like another television series that they had basically like done work on, and it was set to air in 2018, but then no one picked it up, and so it never got made. Yeah, and Kevin Bacon was going to come back to it for the first time because spoiler, he's not in any of the sequels. He never came back to it. Yeah, I know. And so it was like going to be his first time, but then it never got picked up, so it never made it anywhere.
Sad.
I know.
You know, they had a 30th anniversary and only one actor showed up to it. How sad.
I know.
Kevin Bacon really does hate it.
Not anymore. He's come to his senses.
Yeah, thank God. Well, he should. Masterpiece.
It really is. I always say this is Kevin Bacon's best film, and people laugh like it's a joke, and I'm not joking.
Yeah, like his acting was actually very good. Like, it's not a joke. I don't have to see the rest of his movies to know that this is the best one.
Sorry, it is just funny. Like, he has, like,
what
critically...
else is he in?
He's been in, like, A Few Good Men and Apollo 13. And, like,
oh,
Frost
shit, I
Nixon,
forgot he was in Apollo 13. Oh, shit.
he's been in incredible films.
Yeah.
And this one's included in that. So, anyways...
Oh, yeah, he is really good in Apollo 13. I watched the shit out of that movie. I forgot he was in it.
Yeah, he is. But I'll die on the hill that this is his best movie, so whatever.
Crazy.
All right, do you think that you would survive the Graboids?
I think so.
Yeah? Yeah,
I mean, once they figured out what was happening,
mm-hmm.
No, I mean, they did a really good job at staying alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like a sheep herder. I'm listening when I'm told to be still.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, I'm living. I live.
Yeah.
Do you?
I think so. First and foremost, I would never live in a town with a population of 14 people. That's crazy. So I probably would have already left. But anyways, even if I was there, yeah, I feel like I'd probably just be chilling in my house until Kevin Bacon was like, hey, don't move. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, we're good. I can not move for days.
Yeah. Easy.
Just be sitting here playing video games until they were all dead.
Yeah. It's easy. And they didn't even try the dune walk to see if that worked.
They didn't even try the dune walk.
So you might have been able to get around if you just did the dune walk.
What's the dune walk?
It's like you just walk so that it's not, a regular cadence. So you like shuffle a little bit and you like drag your feet in a circle and then you take a little tiny steps and then
got it.
Zendaya can teach you.
I wish.
She can. She watch the movie. She teaches you how.
Like in the movie she teaches. I thought you meant like she personally could come to my apartment and teach me how to dune walk.
That too.
Great.
But in the movie she does already do it. It would be kind of a waste of her time to come to your house.
I do think they didn't really try. I mean, it would take too long because they were kind of in the middle of nowhere. But I feel, like a step and then just wait a bit. A step.
Yeah.
Wait a bit. You could do it. You can make your way around town.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they killed him all, so.
They don't have to. Well, there's 5 sequels, so.
5 sequels?
Aren't there? Something like that.
I thought there was only 3. Including the show.
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sequels.
Shit. Including the show?
not including the show.
7. And a rumored 8 that never got picked up.
Rumored 8.
I mean, honestly, no wonder it didn't get picked up. They beat that horse. That's how they beat the horse. They beat that horse. You know?
Boo. Didn't even beat the horse. All right. Do you want to predict next week's movie?
Yep.
Do you know what it is?
No. I have no
I
idea.
changed it. So you...
Oh, God.
Yeah, I realized there were some things that were too close together. So
What if I'd already watched it?
else. You didn't.
No.
You watched Tremors today. I knew you weren't a movie ahead.
Fair.
And also I think I changed it a couple days ago. So next week we're going to be talking about As Above, So Below.
A cave movie. An actual cave movie. This one's actually caves.
Tell me about it.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, it's just like every other cave movie.
It's just like
There's
every
no
other cave
monsters,
movie.
I think it's.
Oh, great,
I think
okay.
it's crime.
It's crime.
It's crime underground.
Oh my God, and what happens?
Um,
Who commits the crimes?
Men.
That was a given.
Duh. Which maybe that's the thing. The social commentary of like men are like these terrible. They're terrible. As above. So when you get into a cave with them, below.
So below.
So below. Yeah, no, it's about a woman and her fiance who go into a cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, they're above. They're as above. They're above first.
Yeah.
And he's abusive. It's really sad. Yeah, it's not ideal.
Okay.
And they go on a trip together as like a last hurrah to try to like reconcile their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And the trip involves caving. And they go into a
As
cave.
it does.
And as above,
So below.
He abuses her under the ground also. And she breaks. She breaks. I mean, when you're in a cave, you break sometimes. Sometimes you break. So she chases him around the cave and kills him.
Oh, great. I love that for her.
Yeah, which she can't do as above. It's only so below.
So below.
Yeah. So then she goes, and then nobody's the wiser.
Because it was so below.
Because it was so below.
It was so below. Great.
Yeah. She gets away with it, and that's the end of the movie. Is her walking off in the sunshine after having killed her abusive boyfriend so below.
Yeah. Yeah. So below.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
Think of how below you could get.
So much.
So below that. No.
It's not a cave movie?
Not technically. It's
space?
a catacombs movie.
That's the same. Is there killing in the catacombs?
It's cave-like. I'm not going to tell you. It's a found footage, so you'll love that.
Oh, I love that. I just watched a whole bunch of found footage this week.
Did you?
Revealed?
One?
Well, I mean, I could have watched more than that. Yeah, I guess in hindsight, I only watched one.
I watched so many. Well, I could have. What are you talking about?
I watched one of them, and multiple of them played.
The sequels to Cloverfield aren't found footage.
What? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, they're not like direct sequels.
I knew that.
I think they're actually working on a direct sequel, but they're
Found
not.
footage?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
What the fuck?
Yeah, well, a lot of people left to like fainted in the theaters during Cloverfield.
Well, they didn't faint. They got dizzy. They puked.
No, they had like actual recorded faintings.
They say that for every movie.
Yeah,
People
but they
got
had like a
dizzy.
number.
I thought that they just got dizzy because the shaky cam.
No. But yeah, no, they're not found footage.
What are they?
So.
What are they fainting about?
Motion sickness, I guess. I don't know.
That doesn't make you faint. That makes you puke.
I don't know. I don't get motion sickness. Katie,
Must be nice. I get motion sickness so bad. I could never have seen that in theaters. fucking Arcadian made me sick.
That one did bother me, and usually it doesn't. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think because I wasn't prepared for it.
I don't have motion sickness.
Well, I didn't
Calls
get
back
sick.
immediately to a time where you got motion sickness.
I didn't get sick. I just didn't like it.
Okay. Okay.
Anyways, can't wait to watch As Above, So Below.
Very below.
I'm glad that it'll be part of the dozens of found footage you see this week.
That's really disappointing that none of the rest of them are found footage. I'm glad I didn't watch them. I would have been pissed. All right, well.
No.
Are they good? No, they can't be.
The third one's not.
Oh.
Do you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
I think the sequel's better than the original.
What? The sequel kind of takes, or the original kind of takes you out of it because there's so many people that you know. For me.
Yeah.
I was like, Janice.
Janice Ian.
What
No,
are
yeah,
you doing here?
I like Cloverfield, but I think 10 Cloverfield Lane is the best of the series.
Wild.
It's really good.
Yeah, I believe
You
you.
should watch it.
I had the opportunity.
You did.
I did. I watched them, but I watched so much found footage.
You watched so much. So many
All right.
minutes.
So many. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
It's been
This
real.
is fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Next week? Same
All
time?
right. Yeah. Sure. I mean.
Perfect.
And then only 2 more episodes. 1 more episode after.
Yeah, this is our 73rd episode.
Yeah. We have something really fun and special planned for the 75th episode.
Yeah, definitely excited for that. So
Yeah, me too.
don't give up.
It's like
don't
it
give up
already
on us
happened.
yet, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it feels like we already recorded it.
Yeah. And
No,
did it
but,
come out on my birthday?
Not on your birthday. It'll come out the week of your birthday.
My birthday's on
No,
a
wait, that
Tuesday.
comes out on your birthday.
No, you're joking. Is it really?
Yeah. Wait,
Oh,
your
have
birthday's on
fun.
Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, our 75th comes out on your birthday.
Oh. And our 74th comes out on yours. Right?
This is like 3 years of you still not knowing when my birthday
It's in my
is.
calendar. It's in my calendar. Why do I have to remember it? It's in my calendar.
Because I remember yours, Katie.
Mine's easy. It's your favorite. Oh, it's my favorite number. It's June 3rd.
It's June 3rd.
I know. Isn't that a week before June 11th?
No. June 4th.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I know.
Well,
Anyways.
okay, to be clear, I knew when your birthday was. I just didn't know how to subtract 7 from 11.
Math can be really hard. I get it.
Okay, next week. See you Tuesday. Please like and subscribe.
Please.
Bye.
Bye.